was the youngest at 12 years of age to be certified as a financial planner, trainer, and leader in the United States of America. We can talk about the youth of America today, and if you're not out there trying to save just one, you can't save them all. But what have you done to save one? And this father and that father support center, and I, Dr. Wayne Jones, who is seated over here to my left, on Saturday mornings when many of you are turning over in bed for the second time, and there's nothing wrong with that, or drinking your coffee, Mr. Jahad is on the street talking to young men, talking to young women. I'm gonna let the son introduce his father to make my speech a little short. Come on, Jahad.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
All right. Well, my name is Jahad Kayem, and to piggyback on what Ms. Oliver just said, I was certified at the age of 12 years old. After I became the youngest in the world to be certified as an YWCA financial literacy educator. And since then, I've been teaching at different schools, churches, after-school programs, and different venues on the importance of financial literacy and just teaching the kids about why is it so important to know about money and savings accounts, banks, and different things like that. But today is not about me, so I want to introduce the man of the hour, who is also known as my father, Jahad Kayem Sr.
But it felt real good because she didn't ask me to speak because of my career. She asked me to speak on one of my greatest fears, which is parenting. You know, because life affords you no greater responsibility, no greater privilege than the raising and the rearing of the next generation. And we all are in charge of the raising and rearing of the next generation, even if you don't have any children, or even if you just don't want to. You know, just your interaction with them shape and mold them. The conversations that we have shape and mold them. The opportunities that we create or don't create shape and mold them. The education that they may or may not receive shapes and molds them. So it's a community effort. It's a shared responsibility. And it's a responsibility that you all have accepted, but it's the depth of your response that has allowed you all to get the distinct title of you all are shining stars. But you don't represent just any star. You represent the North Star, which is synonymous to freedom, by the lead conductor Harriet Tubman of the Underground Railroad, because that's what we're providing for them. The information, the education, you're building the self-esteem, self-concept, self-efficacy, which is the ability to apply all things that are taught. That provides the children with a certain level of freedom, and what Better Family Life, myself and my children have decided to focus on, and focus stands for following one cause until successful. But what we have chosen to focus on is giving the youth the knowledge of finance, giving them the financial education, because we believe that that's going to provide them with financial freedom. Okay. And I can tell you that everything that we want is right on the other side of fear. It's right on the other side. This is what they say about fear. They say the richest place in the world is not the diamond mines of Africa. The richest place in the world is not Iraq, Iran, or Venezuela that has a large supply of oil. The richest place in the world is the graveyard. Because there lies dreams and goals that were unfulfilled. Books that were never written. Songs that were never sang. Inventions that were never shared. And cures to diseases that were never discovered. The question that we have to ask the children, I think we've been asking them the wrong question. We've been asking the children, what do you want to be when you grow up? No, don't ask them that. That's the wrong question. The question is, who do you want to be when you grow up? Because the who deals with the intrinsic value of a person that produces the what. I want to be a doctor. What kind of doctor do you want to be? Do you want to be a doctor that practices medicine? Or do you want to be a doctor that practices medicine? And provide prescriptions that don't cure and heal the people, but use them as customers. Don't be that, son. Ain't no room for people like that. Ain't no room for people like that. We gotta make sure that our children know who they want to be. But my son, and I'm going to give you the very condensed version of this journey, but I would like an opportunity at some point in the hour to give you the extended version. But my son was going with me to different financial literacy presentations, and he began to grasp the information. And one day he said, "Daddy, I can teach your class." I said, "Boy, you better sit back." But he said, "No, Daddy, I can teach your class." So I said, What he has just done at 12 years old has given me mentally his rites of passage card. That I can be just like you, Daddy. I can do it. So I said, okay. And I began to give him the information and pour everything that I had into it. And after a while, I started preparing him to do a 1-hour presentation, financial literacy presentation with no help from me. That consists of worksheets, pre and post test, knowing the information, PowerPoint, and classroom management. You know how difficult that is. And then I called Dr. Jody Squires. She had an after-school program that was sponsored by UMSL. And I told her what was going on. She said, "Get out of here." I said, "I can't." And she set up a presentation with about 15 youth. And then I called some friends to come through as well. And the day of the presentation, and I'm getting ready to tell you the magic, Shattuck, which is the name, it's deep, which is the name of the YWCA's male mentoring program. But the day of the presentation, we was in Brother Malik's office, the CEO of Better Family Life, and a whole bunch of brothers were surrounding him because we was all excited about what we thought we was going to see. And a half hour before he was to go on, I asked everybody to step out the room. I wanted to talk to my son. Because, you know, I'm scared. He's still my boy. He's 12. You know, though that we had prepared, I'm confident, I'm scared. Right? So what I did is I handed him a pad. And I said, "Look, I want you to write down how you see this presentation going." And then I left him by himself for the last half hour. I went back to get him, asked him, "Are you ready?" He said, "Yes, I'm ready." We went down there. He conducted a 1-hour presentation, all of those things with no help. We couldn't believe what we had just seen. The UMSL was just getting stuff off the shelf, handed it to him. "This is for you." Just giving him stuff. People started taking pictures. People were getting on the phone because we had never seen this before. And after all the pictures were done and everything was dying down, we was packing up our equipment and we was riding home. I said, "So son, you know, how you think your presentation went?" He looked at me and said, "Daddy, my presentation went just as I wrote it." That's the magic. That's the magic, is that whatever I write down, I can make happen. The very definition of the word abracadabra means I create as I speak. That's what that means. Yes, it's magical, not mystical. There's no mystery to this thing. You create the vision, then you walk in vision to it. The Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. But we always been a people of vision. It says the black man is like the people of the eye, surrounded by a sea of white. But it's the people that has the sight. It beholds what is before it. So we've always been a people of vision. The magic is in all of us. My man, Reverend Buck Miranda out of Milwaukee, I was talking to him one day, and he said that a young man walked up to him and said, "Reverend Buck, I'm scared." "What's the matter, son?" "Reverend Buck, I'm 26 years old." "Oh, okay." "No, Reverend Buck, 26 years old. I never had a job. I have 3 children. I didn't get an education." He said, "I didn't think I was going to live past 18, so I never did anything with my life." So when there is no vision in the children, you engage in nothingness and reckless behavior. And even today, depending on the education that he got, he still might be scared. There were 3 eras or ages after the Stone Age, and I'm almost done this one. 3 ages after the Stone Age. You had the agriculture age and era. Then you had the industrial age and era. And now we in the information and entrepreneurship age and era. But our education system is still stuck in the industrial age with the old mantra of go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. No. Get a good education and create you a job. Look, don't go get a good education and work for Google. You get a good education and create a company that's going to compete with Google. That's the mindset that we have to give all of the children. Even if the jobs come back, they're not going to black folks. America is in peril. We have to create businesses. And even, and I'm not going to run it all down, but African Americans we're in a crisis situation, and a crisis means dangerous or worrying times, where immediate action must be taken in order to avoid complete disaster or breakdown. Across the United States of America, there's a 50% African American male dropout rate. And of those who are graduating on the same level as 6th grade whites. We won't be able to survive like that. We're gonna all have to come together, or we're gonna have to pull our weight in order for this to happen. And I can run down the social deals, but you already know. So keep volunteering with the YWCA. If there are funders or sponsors here, give them some more money so they can expand and continue to provide quality programs so they can expand. And I'll say this about quality, and this is what they provide. They said quality is a commitment made real. Quality is not perfection, but rather the dedication to perfection. And those who are similarly dedicated to it form an elite community. And when quality is so consistent, it creates a reputation, and that reputation is called trust. And trust is the highest compliment that could ever be paid. Thank you very much.